a decent amount of money. Oh my god! I killed my glass! Hello and welcome to the Whisky Trials. I'm Neil and I've just finished filming a story in the glass. It'll be the video before this, so go and check it out after this video, of course. But it was about the GlenDronach 12. And the GlenDronach 12 is quite an inspiring dram for me, hence why a story came out of my little head about it. I've already reviewed the GlenDronach 12. I've done a 1 minute review and I have done a informal kind of review like these. But what I do have, I've got two GlenDronachs open actually. I have this one. Can you see it? Yes, you can, because it's next to my face and this camera focuses on my face. I can't do that because it doesn't focus on it, see? Don't focus. Oh, is it focused? I don't know. Anyway, so I have the GlenDronach Port Wood. I think I'm just going to review that. If I feel like it, I might review this one as well. This one's getting rare. It's a GlenDronach Batch 6. Probably, yeah, it's not that easy to find this one now, and I think it kind of, for some reason, grew in popularity. I got it ages ago, absolutely ages ago, for a fairly reasonable kind of price. Nothing too extortionate. And I wouldn't pay anything too extortionate for it, to be honest. It's nice, like, but anyway, we might get to that one. So anyway, the Portwood, the GlenDronach Port Wood. I bought this from the distillery, from my fairly recent visit. And yeah, it was actually a guy in the shop who, you know, didn't work there or anything. He was on the tour as well, and he was just like, "Oh, the Portwood's fantastic. You have to buy the Portwood," kind of thing. So I bought the Portwood. And, you know, straight away you can kind of recognise the whole GlenDronach feel to it. But it does have that red wine kind of porty edge to it, for sure. But I think you can pretty much still recognise this as a GlenDronach. I think sometimes the port casks are very, very hit or miss for me. And what I will say straight away with this one is that, one, my glass is very, very dirty. And two, I think I may have enjoyed this more when I first opened it. Obviously, it was just filming the other video that I was doing, and I was drinking this. I had a bit of nip of it, and I wasn't quite connecting with it as I did as soon as I opened it. So maybe that's a kind of theme I've got going on tonight, because I tasted another one and I was like, I think I preferred it when I first opened it. And normally it's the other way about, isn't it? That kind of, you give it a bit of airtime and they tend to improve, but it's still nice on the nose. It's still got the nice red fruits, you know, the currants and the kind of raisins, that good old kind of Christmas cake flavour. I suppose not meant to describe it as these days. Very unpopular. But yeah, it's got all that with that kind of slightly berry. It's almost like a berry-like finish that the kind of red wines and the ports give it a lot of the time. It doesn't necessarily give it like a grapiness or a wininess. It can definitely add that kind of summer fruit kind of feel, raspberries, strawberries, that kind of thing. But I can almost, yeah, you can get past it there and you get the tobacco-y leather edge that I like about GlenDronach. And there's also something else. There's like I don't know how you could smell sour. I think it's probably the wood, but there's that sour wood thing going on in there as well. And that's one of the things I really like about GlenDronach as well, because a lot of people think that it's just this real kind of sweet sherry bomb explosion, which it can be, and it is. But once you get past that as well, and you go deeper and you try and find the sort of other underlying things, then it can be, there is a sour, woody edge to it. And I think that's standing out for me tonight. I don't know what's going on with my palate, but some of the other whiskies or the other whiskey that I tasted before this, I was getting a very similar kind of thing. I was picking much more of the kind of sour, woody kind of notes out than the sweet ones. And that one that I tasted earlier, I was just like, I thought it was going to be all citrus, but I really struggled to get any. Anyway. Very light spice, a bit of tingle on the tip of my tongue. Other than that, it's not too harsh. I think this is 46. It's not, it wouldn't be like GlenDronach to put out something on the 40 mark. Yeah, 46. So 46%. I'm not sure if there's anything hugely, massively interesting, but it does say on this, on the Portwood actually, this is interesting. It's been matured for 10 years, including 3 years in the finest port pipes. So there you go. I love when they do that. I love how when they tell you how long it's been in each thing, because sometimes it's just like, you know, oh, double barrel or, you know, whatever. But is it been in one for 8 years and then one for 1 year? Or is it, you know, 3, 6? What's the ratio here? So that's good. So yeah, the port pipes are from the Douro Valley in Portugal. So there you go. There you go. Yeah, I have to say, when I first opened this, I was just like, oh man, this is so good. I was just, you know, I mean, I like most of the stuff. In fact, I like everything that GlenDronach does, so I'm not going to lie there. I'm a bit of a GlenDronach fanboy. Everybody knows it, and I'm not going to deny it. But, you know, if I've got something to say about it, like, you know, if you see my previous videos, I wasn't that keen on the 15. I'm not going to rave about the 15. I rave about the 12. I rave about the 18. I've had the 21. I wasn't that massively fussed about the 21 either. I rave about some of the cask strength things. This, I'll need to taste this one again. I think I'll probably do it now. The batch 6 was good. I've got the batch 17, which I haven't tried yet, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, oh, getting a lighter smell there. Got more, it's weird, it's almost like a, yeah, it's definitely like a strawberries, honey and cream kind of thing I got there. Yeah. So, I mean, it's very pleasant on the nose. It's got a nice complex nose. It's got all the stuff that you would recognise from GlenDronach, which obviously is nice, but then with that extra character from the port pipe, it's introduced all these new smells that you can have fun picking out, which is great. And, oh gads, I don't know how much I paid for it. It doesn't have a price on it. I don't know how much I paid for that. I'll be honest, GlenDronach, they plied me with alcohol and I did buy a few bottles. So, yeah, I'm thinking it was in the realms of 50, 60 quid. Because, yeah, it must have been about that. Yeah, so about 50, 60 quid. And I think if you're a fan of GlenDronach, you'll probably pay that. If you're not, is that 50, 60 quid better spent elsewhere? I don't know. I think it's probably worth the punt if you're into your port cask finish, for sure. But then, you know, you could get, well, you couldn't really, you know, you can get 2 bottles of any other GlenDronach. I think I picked up the Healing 8, which I've done another review on. Check that out. For 37 quid from the distillery, so that was pretty good. But yeah, I think that's about as cheap as you'll find a GlenDronach, to be fair. Yeah, wee bits more ice cream notes. I kind of feel like instead of the kind of candy floss and the deep caramel and kind of toffee notes that you would get maybe in the 12 or the 18, 21, etc., even the 8, that this one has, because of the port pipe, it's introduced a more kind of Edinburgh fog, or like an ice cream sundae kind of feel to it. You know, it's like a creamy cherry strawberry kind of jammy slight kind of thing going on. But it's nice. I mean, I'd buy this one again if I wasn't on this crazy whiskey journey where I just had to buy different bottles all the time. Got my wee old Perth glass as well, doing the tasting on my wee snifter glass. I quite like this. It really focuses the nose, this one. It's even smaller in the end than a Glencairn. So yeah, I've been enjoying my nosing with this one. So all in all, guys, even if you're not a GlenDronach fan, if you like port pipes, port cask finished whiskies, then this has definitely got something for you. Yeah, it's really good. I would heartily recommend that one. I know my pal Russell, he's not quite gotten into it yet. It's weird though, because... Okay, well, apologies for that. My camera overheated and died, apparently. It's getting too hot. Don't really know why. I've done all this kind of stuff before. So yeah, it looks like I might not be reviewing the cask strength 6. The cask strength 6? The cask strength batch 6. Tell you, I've had real problems talking tonight. Honestly, I've not had that much to drink. It was purely just being a stuttering buffoon. Trying to read that the story in the glass one, it was so much harder than the first one. Man, I really struggled. I think I did about... Normally I can do stuff in about 1, 2, 3, maximum kind of 5 takes. I think I've read that story about 20 times tonight. I was getting bored of my own voice. Bored of my own voice anyway. Do you know what? Let's just try it. If it overheats again, you'll just have to bear with me. It's not, I've had this for a while, like I said, so it's definitely lost a bit of its punchiness, because this is bottled at 56.1, so it was quite a punchy ABV. I was definitely getting some vapors, alcohol kind of punchiness the first time I opened this. Oh, there it is. Just took a while. I need to dump my nose in the glass a bit. So it's like a GlenDronach, as you would expect from being from GlenDronach, but there's that edge to the cask strength ones. It's got that slight nail polishy kind of harsh alcohol vapor to it, but on the edge of that there's the tropical fruits, banana especially. But then this is so nice as it mellows. There's such a comforting smell, that it really is. I don't know, it's got that real kind of vanilla ice cream, chocolate, kind of bittersweet chocolate thing going on, but there's also a real like comforting leather armchair tobacco, not necessarily tobacco smoke, but the actual smell of tobacco. And then there's an orangey kind of feeling coming through as well, I think. Such a good nose. I can see why people are raving about this one now. I think when I first bought it and I was drinking it, I loved it. I was thinking it was great, but it's been so long, I think I've forgotten about it a little bit. Wow, how could you forget about that? Jeez. So it packs a bit of a punch. Some people might need to put a bit of water in that. I'm fine with the way it is. But it's certainly got... I'm going to have another one. I'm going to do the... I tend to find when I normally take my first sip, I just pass it over my tongue. Maybe give it a slight wash over the rest of my tongue. But the second sip, I like to roll it under my tongue at least, and then third one I might roll it about a little bit more. But the second one normally reveals the spiciness, how much spice or pepper or whatever it's got in it. And it's quite light. It doesn't have the pepper on the front of my tongue. It's much more towards the back. It's oily, this one though. It's much more oily than the Portwood. Much heavier, longer finish. It's nice. It is so good. I'm so glad I drank this though, because I think there was, I don't know who was telling me that, but there was a bit of a thing going on online where everybody was going on about the cask, the batch 6, sorry. And when all that kind of stuff happens, you're kind of like, oh, will I open it? Won't I open it? Will I keep it for a rainy day kind of thing? You never know. But yeah, I'm so glad I got to experience this and didn't realise at the time what a great dram I was drinking. But I do have a little bit of a whiskey collection going on now. I actually sorted it out the other night, and it's nothing huge. It's not like some of the guys that I see, but I think I've got about 14 bottles that I'm keeping, that I'm not opening. So I've got 14 unopened bottles of whiskey, which is crazy. But who knows? I probably will open them all anyway. Well, I have to say, guys, if you can get your hands on this batch 6, I would highly recommend it. I remember the price that I paid, because I bought it from the whisky shop in Crieff. Christ, I forget the name of it. But good guys in there, know their whisky. It's a great shop. It's just like wall-to-wall whisky, which is amazing. You're like a kid in a candy store. But I saw this one, it stood out on the top shelf, and I was like, oh, this was my first GlenDronach batch, cask strength, so I'd never tried one before. And I thought, oh, I'll Google the prices. So I was in this guy's shop, and I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, 50 quid. And I Googled it, and I found that it was pretty much the same price online. So I thought, it's a decent price for a GlenDronach then. I'll get it. So yeah, it was like 50 or 54 quid I paid for this, which in terms of, obviously it's a non-age statement, right? So don't really know the age of what's in here. Guessing with GlenDronach, it's probably older than you think. But yeah, you get all the good stuff. It's non-chill filtered, natural colour, and it's at cask strength, like I said, 56.1%. It's such a good dram. Drinking this again really makes me want to open the batch 17 I've got. But yeah, again, you know, it's got that sour edge that GlenDronach definitely has. You've just got to get past that sweetness, and I think it's fairly easy. Like, I think when you first try a GlenDronach, you can be so overwhelmed by the kind of sherry sweetness, and there's so much going on that you're like, I'm just, you know, overcome by that. But once you get used to GlenDronach, you start picking out the more kind of sour, woody, kind of bitter notes on the back end. And this one's great. It's got this has probably got one of the most interesting noses, I'd say, in GlenDronach. Apart from the 18, the 18's got a very interesting nose as well. I love the 18. But obviously, this one being at cask strength really explodes in the nose. So there's something in there that I'm not getting. I want to get it. It's I'm not sure. It's almost like a rubber. I kind of want to say like a rubber. Not like a rubber, but like rubber. Just whatever it is. I mean, it's not unpleasant. I'm not like, rubber, like a rubber. It's weird how you describe these things, because you say them and you're like, rubber? Really? You want to drink that? You want to put that in your face? Yeah, I mean, my mouth is salivating when I'm smelling this. It's so good. Oh man, I wish YouTube, you need to invent smell-o-vision, because this is just awesome. I'm hardly drinking it. I'm just smelling it. It's so good. So, as usual, GlenDronach, it's just a class act. Batch 6 was obviously a long time ago. It's been 11 batches since then. I do have a batch 17, which I really want to open now. Leave me some comments below about the other batches, because I'd be interested to hear about them. This is the only batch that I've had that I've bought. I've not tried any of the others. I kind of concentrated for a while on our core range, and obviously doing this kind of thing, I'm just trying to try as many whiskies as possible. So yeah, give me a little comment if you've tried any of the other batches. What ones stood out for you? If you're the ultimate GlenDronach fan and you've tried 1 through 17, what was the best, and why? This is an absolute cracker, man. Jeez, I wish I'm tempted to go and try and find another bottle of this now. But, you know, can't buy everything. Not when you've not got that much money. Yep. Ah, man. Gorgeous whiskey. Perhaps I could write a story about this one too. So yeah, well, Slanjavar guys, I guess check out my, if you like GlenDronach, or even if you don't, even if you just like a wee story, check out my story in a glass, the GlenDronach 12. Her first fairground, was it? God, I've forgotten the title already. It was indeed her first fairground. I've only read it 20 times tonight. I would have thought I would remember it. her first fairground. So go and check that out. Check out my 1 minute review of GlenDronach 12. I have another 12 informal review. I'll probably link them up here or down there, somewhere around here. Yeah, I'll put them in the description and maybe link them up there. So, yep. To recap, the GlenDronach Port Wood. It is good. I think I preferred it when I first opened it, however. The GlenDronach Batch 6. Man, it's just still a peach. Holy crap. Man, this is such a good whiskey. It is... I could... No qualms, like, just buy the batches when they come out. And do you know what? I bought the batch 17. Just an FYI. I bought the batch 17. Or a batch 17. There was loads of different ones, because they did different things with different casks. I just got the Oloroso. And from a certain cask, can't remember what it is, it's down the stairs. But I'm pretty sure it was like 100 odd quid. Which is why I haven't opened it yet, because I'm like, okay, special occasion whiskey, right? But this one, batch 6, this was like 50 quid, like I said. Man, that's, okay, it's still a splurge, it's still a decent amount of money. Oh my god, I killed my glass. Oh shit. It's alright, it's just a Glencairn and it's just water. No whiskey was destroyed in the making of this video. Just a Glencairn glass. Oh man, I'm not having a good night. I'm really not having a good night, I tell you. Man, it took me ages to make that first video, and now I've just smashed the glass. I think that's it, guys. See you later.